And we're back here at the conclusion of the 58th Bill Rahm Invitational Tournament, and it was won once again by champion Mike Lear, defending champion. He beat Brock Likens 10:07 to 8:69. Mike, you just had it going today. You had one open in 4 games and basically a lot of strikes.
Yeah. It was just one of them days you come out, you couldn't do nothing wrong. It just worked for you. There's days you come out here, you can't do nothing right. So the other end of the spectrum, it happens also. But today, I was lined up for an area, right? But I did hit my mark most of the time, probably 95% of the time, and the ball just worked. It just carried for me. Got up, made all my spares. I think I had a split there.
You had that one split.
Outside of that one open. And that's the name of the game. You got to make your spares. You can't give. Now, Brock had a big row to hoe. You know what I mean? To catch up with me. But for all intents and purposes, you can't miss spares in this tournament. You give a guy a break. How many times this tournament it was determined within 10 pins, right? And that's one spare. You just can't do that or chop it,
And that's when we were talking. I said, strikes are nice, but you got to make your spares.
You got to cover.
You can't throw 5 strikes in a row and have 4 open.
Yep.
You got to make your spares.
And you were playing, looked like about from 5 out to 8 board.
I was trying to drop it at 6.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
Because
That was the plan.
I know you got out about the 4 board on 9 couple times, but you were right, between 5 and 7 for the most part. And Brock was a little bit inside of you.
I did a couple of silly things and pulled it inside a couple times.
Yeah.
But, luckily, it wasn't big split.
You got the big
that 4-9, and I covered that. Most of the time that don't happen, but it just worked for me today.
Yeah. Well, that's what we were saying. When you left that 4-9, that's a hard spare to make, and you made it, and that you got to have some luck in this game.
That's right.
And you had the luck today, and Brock didn't have the luck.
And I'll be honest, usually I don't try for them. If I have a big split, I just try to at least get 1 or 2. Get the pin count.
That's it.
If you make it, fine, but try not to take a risk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I knew I had the lead by almost 100 pins on me, so I could take the risk there.
Sure.
It wasn't going to impact me much.
Right.
And it worked.
How did you notice the difference between the lanes, or just
They
pretty
started
much?
changing about 3/4 way the first game, and I made some adjustments. When I was lined up with my feet, I actually backed up about 4 inches. So I put the ball in the lane longer, that way it would come into the pocket. And after that, if I hit my mark, it seemed to work for me. Yeah.
Well, like I said,
I was worried about. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I was worried about that because Brock and I, most of the time, they're close to the same line.
Yeah.
And I throw urethane.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, I'm going to have to be prepared to make adjustments sooner than later to stay ahead of it, right? And I didn't have to. It just seemed to work for me.
Yeah, the urethane stretched it out
Correct.
a little bit.
Correct.
That.
And that's what I say. I had to back up some, push the oil down. So then it seemed to work for me. And I got maybe 1 lucky strike. Maybe.
Maybe one.
The one that came back up out of the pit.
Right. Now,
Wait a second. Do we have
Somebody knocked
replays
the one
on
down
all
on
these?
the 10 pin. He knocked the 7 right through the nose, and they went donk.
Yeah.
Kind of like the old days of the pin spotter, the guys walking around back there.
Yeah, but I've always said if you're lined up and you're throwing the ball well, you make a little adjustment to the line. Sometimes the ball will go right in a hole. Other times you get it outside and the ball walks back in the pocket. It's just making a little adjustment. And I always said that's the difference between a 150 average bowler and a 200 average bowler is making that adjustment to the line with your feet, your hand, whatever you have to do. But like I said in the introduction, you've been in the finals 5 times. You're our 5th back-to-back winner, and you average 240, whatever. And you bowled well through the whole tournament, and you picked the best time to shoot your highest series. You just everything lined up, and I told Brock I said he didn't give you much of a chance today.
And we were talking about that, the big advantage by staying in that winner's bracket. You don't have to bowl nearly as many games.
Right.
Brock had to bowl 28 games to get here.
yeah, he had to earn it. That was a long road for him. and he did well. He bowled all the way through.
Oh, yeah.
And Brock's
Yeah.
a formidable opponent. You know,
Yeah.
he gets on his rolls like crap.
Yeah.
You know, you can't give him nothing.
Yeah.
Watching Brock bowl before, I didn't realize he threw the ball as hard as he does.
Yeah.
I always thought he kind of was soft. I didn't realize until I watched him this year that he threw the ball as hard as he did.
Well, and I tell you what, the whole bowling process, you have to know when to adjust.
Yeah.
You have to stay ahead of it, and you have to be prepared when you're throwing your shadow balls and practicing where your opponent's throwing, because you got to stay ahead of it. Because if you're throwing the same spot, you make an adjustment too darn late.
You know, I was talking, I think it was his boy sitting over there. He said he throws 4 balls and makes the change. I said, yeah, but you got to know when you're going to make that change.
Yeah.
If the ball isn't finished, you got to go to something a little rougher. And if the ball's hooking too much, you got to go to something a little harder that'll slide. But I said, you got to know when you make that adjustment, and you got to know the balls you're throwing. You got to know that if you go to this ball, it's going to do what you want it to do. You can't change to a ball that you don't know what's going to do and start pitching around.
Well, you have to know. You have to, if you're going to make a ball change or an adjustment with your feet or your eyes out there, you have to throw a good ball first.
Right.
Yeah.
When you're erratic up there, it's not the ball's fault.
Right.
It's your fault.
Yeah.
Do what you're supposed to do, and then decide if it's the ball.
Yeah.
Right.
If you're throwing all the ball over, but it's hard to get lined up.
Yeah. So switching balls does no good because you don't know where the heck you're supposed to throw it.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so we're not jumping ahead of ourselves, but next year you're looking at a three-peat? I mean, that'd be history making, right?
We'll see. It all sounds good, right? But we'll see how that works out. Of course, that's it. That'd be the objective, right? But there's a lot of good bowlers, man.
Yes. To have something to say this guy's going to win is tough to do.
Yeah.
Because you can bowl good and get beat, you know. And you get in a loser's bracket, and you can shoot 1,000 series and get beat, you know.
Well, most of the time, 960s, 950s
It's gonna get you.
generally is going to beat,
Right.
is going to win your match. You know, it's just like I'm not sure who it was. If it was Pitch or Don McLaughlin, he had a 968 and got beat.
Right, never
Right,
that.
it's just who you
That was
bowled
out against
against.
Joe on opening day.
Yeah, it's just who you bowled against at that time. That would have won any other match.
Yeah.
Right? It really would have.
Yeah.
It's just those matchups at the beginning that are random, right? I mean, they're random pitch
Joe
draws.
bowled good. He had 1,000 something. And
And it's really who you bowl or at the right time. The years that I won it, I averaged 212, not to the field average, but I won by 8, by 6, by 30, by 6, by 12. You know, and it was just for bowling the right people at the right time.
Yeah.
yeah.
But you bowled well, and like I said, you formed this tournament 7 times and tagged 6.
There you go.
Third, first, second, first.
Well, it's hard to complain about that.
Yeah, I would think. And he won 2 out of the 3 guy in Invitational. He bowled in 10 of these and won 5. Pretty good ratio.
Yeah. Yep.
But you bowl well.
I appreciate that.
And you know,
appreciate the
And
support.
you're simple.
I don't cover boards.
Well, you're like Mitch, yeah. You just down and in.
Yeah.
There's no herky jerky.
It's easy to make an adjustment, and that's all you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
You don't have too many adjustments to make.
Yeah.
But
You did well.
Yeah, there you go.
Definitely.
Well, congratulations. Yes, congratulations
guys.
to your
I definitely
back-to-back
appreciate it.
championships, Mike, and we look forward to maybe be talking to you next year.
Okay, well, that sounds like a plan.
And we're going to talk to your opponent here coming up.
Brock's a good bowler.
And Mr. Sock said, watch out for the guy in Invitation.
Yeah.
He's bowling this year.
We already drew for that, and we didn't jaw each other.
Oh.
But he looked at me.
There you
I'm
go.
not bowling very good over there. But we'll see.
Oh, yeah.
We'll see.
All right. Well, we'll be back with our interview with the runner-up, Brock Likens, right after this.